Last time in Outer Wilds, I finished reading the records in the Ash Twin Project Chamber. Now I need to pick one of my open threads to explore. Let's return to Brittle Hollow.
I saw the Hanging City on Brittle Hollow. You visited the Hanging City? Oh gosh, how was it? Was it amazing? Was it beautiful? Was it scary? The Hanging City is where the Nomai settled permanently on Brittle Hollow. It was their most advanced settlement here. Why they chose to build their most advanced settlement so close to a you-know-what is beyond me. Maybe that kind of thing makes sense to a Nomai, though. Maybe they needed the black hole for something? I saw the Sunless City on Embertwin. You mean there's another Nomai city inside of Embertwin? That's incredible. A whole city and I had no idea it existed. This is great. How did they keep the sand out? If it were me, I'd be nervous about getting buried in the caves by that awful river of sand. Gosh, the Nomai sure were ingenious, building an entire settlement underground, the Sunless City. Wow! This is Meltwater District. Black Hole Forge controls. Okay, the Meltwater District has the controls for that. The Ash Twin Project requires a powerful, highly advanced warp core. How should we obtain it? Solution 2, we could craft a new advanced warp core inspired by the vessel's warp core. Abandoning the vessel's warp core in its casing means losing valuable knowledge. This is true, however its knowledge we have little hope of recovering. It would be best to relearn, I think. I would very much like to craft such a powerful core. More relevantly, I believe the Black Hole Forge crew and I could recreate the basic design. This is the safest path for our clan. Is the safest path the best one? Our goal is worth the risk. The greatest challenge here, I think, is we don't have the design for such a powerful core, or any of the original crafters of the vessel's core. No, but Poke was apprenticed to Anona, who created the original design, and our Black Hole Forge is adept at crafting simpler cores. I believe I can be of use here. The vessel's warp core was created before my time, but Anona explained many of his designs to me. I feel strange trying to recreate Anona's warp core without him. At times it still feels strange to no longer be his very young apprentice, and for the Black Hole Forge to be in my care and not his. Hypothesis, this will always feel strange. Even though my time with him was short, I miss my old mentor, and deeply. To have the chance to try is thrilling, but I don't want to disappoint everyone. I think I can do this, probably, but what if excitement has clouded my assessment of my own abilities? Was I wrong in volunteering to build it? I was born in this star system and never saw Anona's warp core with my own 3 eyes. I only know what he taught me. What if I've bitten off a larger portion than I can consume? Still, all I can give is my best, and as Anona would say, should my best prove insufficient, then we will find another way to achieve what's needed. I have Clary and root in the forge, and I have my clan. I am not alone. Okay, so I have found a secret entrance to the Hanging City in the Meltwater District, from the Meltwater District on the inside and from the North Glacier on the outside. Off of the North Glacier, there is a section of rivulets attached to the crevice in the middle of the one high building. On the far side of one of those rivulets is a hole down, far relative to the high building. There's a hole that leads down into the city. So I think my rough plan for a future loop is land on the Northern Glacier, go in that way to the city, rush to the Black Hole Forge switch, flip that, get back and go to Ash Twin and take the Brittle Hollow Warp to get to the Black Hole Forge. Okay, that sounds like a plan. There we go. Yep. Right on target. Okay. Control room. Forge going. Okay, get in there just in time. There's Timber Hearth. Just follow Rebek. There we go. Welcome to the Black Hole Forge District. Hello, Black Hole Forge. What does this boarding process look like? Okay, where am I taking this first black hole core, and where am I taking the remaining cores once they're ready? All of the warp towers are being constructed on Ash Twin, so the black hole cores will go there. My gratitude. In that case, Poke, Clary, I'm leaving for delivery. I'll send Yarrow your regards. Poke, I'll return to the forge shortly. I'm going to catch up to Root and help him deliver the first core to Ash Twin, just to make sure Yarrow receives it. Uh-huh. Of course you are. Yeah, Poke, your sister knows what's going on. Of note, Yarrow believes he spotted a flaw in the warp tower designs, namely that one of the warp towers on Ash Twin will never activate because its warp receiver will never align overhead. Does your romantic interest think a warp tower's alignment point is its receiver? Does he not know that a warp tower always aligns with the center of its corresponding astral body? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That isn't an unreasonable belief, given the receiver does have to be located on or in close orbit around the relevant astral body. I seem to recall that was your understanding of warp technology at first. No, Yarrow understands the distinction. He likely doesn't realize the Hourglass twins are so close together they function as a single astral body, with a shared alignment point in between them. Okay, yeah, I'd been wondering why the Ash Twin tower warped when you were lined up with Ember Twin. I have good news, Yarrow. The advanced warp core is ready to be installed in the central chamber of Ash Twin. I'm intrigued, love. Everyone here working on the Ash Twin project is excited to see it. Pi is beside herself with joy. No, it isn't. Is everything well at the forge? Don't worry, love. Poke is only nervous. The core is extraordinary and her design work is beautifully clever. The core's durability could still be improved. I need more time. Ignore her, Yarrow. The core is finished, and if my sister tells you otherwise, then she will be finished as well. Running out of time. In that case, if we're running out of time, let's go to the surface and watch the explosion again. It's fun. Here it goes. End of loop. Okay, well, the Black Hole Forge was less interesting than I was hoping for, but got some notes out of it. And finally get to check it off as somewhere I've been. Gotcha. There we go. Plume, Felix, and I have determined this atypical shard of rock is the reason objects in this grove are behaving in a quantum manner. Of note, a unique signal is coming from this shard. Curiously, our friend the Wandering Moon sounds the same. I've also heard the same signal this shard produces calling out from Giant's Deep, Timberhearth, and the Hourglass Twins. Suppose there are other shards like this one. Timberhearth and the Hourglass Twins I've seen, not Giant's Deep. The only other object we've observed displaying this quantum behavior is the Wandering Moon. I imagine the moon's behavior and this groves are related. In her note from earlier, Felix mentions this strange type of rock isn't found elsewhere on Brittle Hollow. What if it isn't originally from this planet? Hypothesis: this quantum shard is from the Wandering Moon. Perhaps it is even a small piece of the moon itself. Ilex, why we should build a new vessel. Each Nomai clan explores the universe in its own vessel. The vessel is the heart of every clan. It's unusual for Nomai to remain in one place for so long. Nomai are wanderers and have no permanent home. Oops. If we built a new vessel, we could return to our adventurous way of life. Imagine all the new places we could go. Our clan wouldn't be stuck here in this star system. We could even meet with other Nomai and learn from them, like Coleus says we used to. It probably wouldn't be hard to get parts if we stopped building other new things, and if we broke down other structures, like the towers on Ashtwin, for parts. Ooh, that's a bold... We might have to build a smaller vessel for now, even though the vessels are normally large, but we could make it bigger later once we reach planets with more resources. It would also help if we stopped building so many things to search for the Eye of the Universe. I asked Yarrow, and he says we used lots of resources on the Ashtwin project. We could even have a warp core for jumping long distances like vessels have. Poke tells me she plans to make a very advanced warp core for a different project. I'm sure she could connect it to the vessel for travel, because Poke is smart. Let's check out the interloper with the time we have left. Which is not that much time, honestly. What are you? I didn't refill fuel. Okay, we've got an airlock. Control module. probe tracking module. Launch module. Oh, star just exploded. Come on. Mallow, my better 50%. Cassava is sending the last of the cannon components. Okay. Okay. And there goes the probe. Right, so that's the probe. And Avens appears to have coaxed as much power out of the probe cannon as possible to the point that the cannon blows itself up. There you are. Chase. Launch module projection stone. Launch module appears to be in pieces, but also has a projection stone wall. Mallow, my better 50%. Cassava is sending the last of the cannon components. Soon, relatively speaking, we'll know the eye's precise location. The thought of concluding our elder's curious and challenging search increases my heart's temperature, my love. Cassava tells me he and the construction yard crew have determined a power setting we are not under any circumstances to go above. I see, and am I right to think that consequently we'll be ignoring that setting? I can posit with nearly 100% certainty our friends have accounted for our natures, so I suggest we do. Yes, okay. Avens and Mallow just feed off each other there. Rebound. Multiply. Giving the orbital probe cannon all the power it can structurally withstand creates the greatest chance of finding the eye of the universe. Or perhaps more than the power it can structurally withstand. Yes, the probe must travel as fast as it can, as far as it can. I'll make some adjustments. Uh-huh. Whoa, where? This place is incredibly large. Begin launch log. Orbital probe cannon. Launch request received. Probe launch successful. Probe tracking module is receiving data from probe. Orbital probe cannon structure compromised during launch. Damage to multiple modules detected. Oh. Orbital probe cannon damage report. Severe structural stress detected. Assessing damage to modules. Control module intact. No structural damage. Launch module viewport window fractured. Module exposed to vacuum of space. Probe tracking module missing. Detached. Launch module. I see. Launch module will need to be reached through the window. Can we find the probe tracking module, or is it gone? Answer might be gone. Well, let's get into the launch. I think this is the launch. There's the crack. Well, let's see what I can recover. Imagine, Privet, the probe tracking module will be the first to know the coordinates of the Eye of the Universe. You'll be the first to see them. I am honored and terrified. You won't ask the orbital probe cannon to use so much power that it breaks, will you? Fret not, my nervous friend. We only need to fire the probe once anyway, so who minds if it compromises the orbital probe cannon's structural integrity slightly? Slightly. I would mind, Mallow. I would mind, because we won't be capable of receiving our probe's data if the probe tracking module is destroyed. Oh. Well then. The probe tracking module is intact. Oh, the ship is... inside of Giant's Deep, isn't it? I'm swimming. I don't know what those red things are. The ship is moving away faster than I am approaching it. I don't think I'm going to make it. Yes, yes. Got any trees? Yeah, no. Oof, asphyxiation is a way to go.
That explains the shiny explosion in the sky each time I wake up. For some reason, I thought Giant Seep would be harder to get to. Residual assumptions from Earth's solar system, probably.